AITA for denying my parents access to my room while changing. So I know it sounds weird, but let me explain. Due to Corona, I had to move from campus to my parents' house again. Since I moved back, I started to have a mere argument with my parents. My parents often come into my room due to various reasons. I feel like they are looking for reasons to come into my room. Since it started annoying me, I started to lock my door to ensure my privacy. So one day I was changing in my room after a shower and my mother wanted to come into my room. I told her to wait because I was changing and she got mad because she wanted to come in now. I told her I don't want her to see me while changing and that she has to wait. She got mad at me for this because she thinks it's disrespectful towards our relationship. When I told her I simply don't want anybody to watch me changing, she called me a hypocrite because I have pictures in my bikini on my Instagram. When I said these are two different things, because in that one scenario I want to be seen and I'm giving my consent to the viewer, and in the other I'm trying to be alone and I don't want to be seen. She simply said it's her house and her rules, and if I want to continue living with them my door has to be unlocked all the time. I simply told her I rather move out again and try to pay for my own place than to continue living with someone that doesn't value my privacy. She thinks I'm dramatic and overreacting and damaging our relationship due to something so minor, but I really feel devalued in my privacy. NTA, your parents have no respect for your privacy. I'm baffled that they think it's perfectly normal to come into their adult children's room while they're changing. Nobody, not even your parents, should want that badly to enter a room when you're changing. It's one thing to knock and ask to come in when you're just lounging about in your room, but when you said you were changing, that should have been the end of the conversation. This is not normal parent behavior. This is fucking creepy. Stand your ground. NTA. NTA, her right to watch you change is a very weird hill for your mother choose to die on. The audacity, running our relationship over something so minor. If it's so minor, just respect ops privacy. The fuck? Exclamation mark. NTA. Serious NTA! Exclamation mark. You're a young adult and you deserve your privacy. If you can't explain that to your parents rationally, ask them if they want you to barge in while they're showering, or having sex. It might rustle some feathers but could get the point across. I would suggest keeping an eye out for any place you can temporarily rent, just in case. But yeah, major NTA here. I think there's two options for this. 1. Mom is okay with nudity between mother and kids anywhere. My aunt is appalled that her grandson wants privacy when he's getting dressed. When we stayed at her house she made all the women shower just one after the other to keep the water running. That meant everyone was naked with someone else, and her, in the bathroom. No privacy when having a shower because aunt was constantly policing how long your shower was. I hated it, and when I was old enough I asked to shower last or at night, to escape. 2. Mom sees op as a kid and thinks that she owns their body. She feels that she has the right to stomp over any and all boundaries op tries to have. Probably she would think that op barging in her room while she's changing is a huge slap in the face, a sign of deep disrespect to her as their elder and mother. Of course mom going in op's room is totally different. AITA, if I tell my boyfriend not to refer to and introduce me as his wife, my 30th BF 33M, have been together for over 5 years and have a 1-year-old son together. We've been homeless together, lost a baby together and slowly built our lives back up. He never liked the idea of marriage, saying, I don't see why the GovT has to be involved and why we should have to prove our love to anyone. I get it, but marriage/a proposal are very important to me. He said he'd marry me because he plans on being with me indefinitely anyway and because he thinks it'd be good for our son. During my pregnancy he mentioned several times that he wanted to get married before our son was born. I waited but never got a proposal or anything. Last month was our 5-year anniversary and I thought it'd be great to get married that day. way. I was heartbroken he still never proposed, especially because he proposed to his last GF before me with a ring and everything. I let the idea of a romantic proposal go and reminded myself that marrying him was the most important part. He said if we could pull it off he was fine with it. He wanted nothing to do with setting it up, which was okay with me. Even for our baby shower he said he didn't want to hear about it, so a family friend and I took care of it ourselves. I changed my schedule at work, picked a location, time, 2 witnesses and someone ordained to officiate. It was meant to be a small ceremony just to sign the license to make it legal. I ran some of the details by him throughout planning and he kept agreeing they were fine. 2 days before the wedding, the day I planned to go get the license, he said he felt forced and pushed into getting married and didn't like the idea of doing it now. So I had to cancel everything and explain to everyone at work when they asked how the wedding went. It was so pathetic and humiliating. I went into a major depressive episode and didn't even think we would be together much longer. He said he'd definitely marry me eventually but not now. I told him after what happened I would never bring up marriage to him again. His response was, "Okay, great. That's awesome." Not sarcastic at all, just completely relieved and happy. But I also told him that I wouldn't just be his GF forever. He didn't seem bothered by that, he was just happy I'd shut the fuck up about getting married to him. He recently introduced me to someone as, "This is my wife, Alicia." Felt like a slap in the fucking face. He'd referred to me as his wife occasionally throughout the years before the wedding fiasco, but the fact that he still today calls me his wife really upsets me, because he fucked off that chance when he had it. Would I be the asshole if I told him I don't appreciate being called his wife after everything that happened and to not refer to me as such? I wanna make sure I'm not in the wrong before I bring it up and potentially cause an argument over it. What? When did we get married? Did I miss it? NTA. Call him out on it. You're not overreacting or in the wrong. He wants all the benefits of being married without actually putting in any effort. If he's going to call you his wife then he actually needs to make it official. If you want to be extra petty, call him out in front of whoever he's introduced you to. Dude, I'm not your wife until you put a ring on it. NTA. He has no desire to get married and needs to stop calling you his wife. Also, you should make sure you have your finances set up so you would be okay if this relationship doesn't work out. News flash, it's not working out, she just hasn't realized it yet. NTA. He wants the social benefits of marriage without an actual marriage. Do not give them to him. NTA. Your guy doesn't sound like he's into the relationship as you, and it is hugely insulting to call you his wife without making the legal commitment. I take it there aren't common law marriages where you live, correct? No common law marriages here. AITA for telling my ex-wife to F off and not allowing her to talk to our kids. Please read before making a decision. I have 5 kids with my now ex-wife, 7F, 5F, 2M and 2M, and a 7-month-old baby boy. When my ex was pregnant with the baby, she decided that she didn't want to be involved with me or the kids anymore, so she divorced me and signed all her rights away. The only reason that I know she's still alive is the child support checks that I get. My kids are obviously still upset over their mum just getting up and leaving without even giving them a heartfelt goodbye. My oldest has expressed being cross towards me regarding the situation, since she's the only one that truly understands that her mom probably won't come back. She feels abandoned and has come to me crying, because she believes that her mum doesn't love her anymore. My other daughter still believes that her mum's gonna come back, and it really hurts to hear her ask when she'll be back. My other kids, obviously, don't understand where their mum has gone. All I can truly get from them is tears, and asking where their mum has went. Just to be clear, I don't badmouth their mother, or say bad things in general about her to them. Yesterday, my ex called. I only picked up because I didn't recognize the number. She said hello, and asked if she could speak to the kids. I said no, mostly because I didn't know how they would react. She said that she missed them terribly, and because of COVID, couldn't see them, and she really wanted to hear their voices. I said that I wasn't comfortable with that. I told her that I would talk to my oldest 2 later on, and ask if they wanted to speak to her, but for now, I wouldn't allow it. She said that she was still their mum, and that she had the right to speak to them. I said that she lost any right to them when she signed those rights away. At this point, my wife raised her voice, and said that I was keeping her away from the people she loved most. I said that I didn't care about her feelings, that she abandoned the kids, and to F off like she did months ago before hanging up. My kids weren't in earshot, just to be clear. I'm not proud of losing my temper, because I'm not that kind of guy. I was at my wit's end, and couldn't take it anymore. I still have my mother-in-law as one of my contacts because I don't have anybody else to care for the kids if something happens to me. All night, she's been blowing up my phone, saying that my ex-wife is still a mother, and has a right to talk to her kids. I don't know. I'm tired. Honest opinions? NTA. It might be good for the kids to have contact with their mother, but not in this ad hoc fashion when she's in the mood. Her dropping in and out of their lives will be far more damaging to them than her just leaving. If you do decide to allow contact, I strongly recommend you work with a family therapist to re-establish contact in a way that's best for the kids. Also, be careful of your mill. You don't want her going behind your back to let X see the kids. Edit for typo. Info: did something happen to your wife that made her walk away? Like, do you think it's his drugs or something that long term she could come back from? NTA: your wife can't come and go as she pleases. That is horrendously unfair to your kids who need and deserve consistency and a lot more than she is giving. Yeah, yelling is not ideal, but you are human and dealing with a lot, so you're not an asshole for that. Is there anyone who can help you with the kids besides your ex-mill? Also, the kids and you definitely need therapy. They've been through something traumatic. She always was a very wild person. She could never handle long-term commitment, and while she wanted kids, didn't spend time with them because I was the stay-at-home parent. She just didn't like the responsibilities. She signed her rights away. It is your absolute duty to keep your kids safe mentally, physically and emotionally. You decide if it's okay for her to see or speak to them. If you don't feel it's good for them right now, then your answer is final. You absolutely need to get the kids into therapy though, and should probably talk to someone yourself. This is a hell of a lot to deal with. While right now might be the wrong time for them to speak to her, at some point it might be the best thing for them. NTA, my mother literally abandoned me at 14 and all 4 of my siblings in a similar way, and I should have never gotten back in touch with her after I turned 18. You're protecting your kids from her doing the same thing again. It's not fair to your children to have a part-time parent, someone who might decide one day she doesn't want to be a mom again and leaves all over again. Your ex-wife doesn't get to act like a child with a doll, decide she's done playing with it and throwing it away. Your daughters and sons deserve a mom that will be there for them. If your ex wanted to still be in their lives, she shouldn't have just signed away her rights. I'm sure you need the child support you do get from her for other things, but I would strongly suggest getting your 2 oldest in therapy, especially your oldest, as she will need it. I will definitely look into it. That's something I should have done earlier.